ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 18 continued. Everything takes practice. Everything takes practice. For example, if one wants to dance on the stage, one has to perform many rehearsals to practice how to dance. Then if one becomes an expert dancer, when one dances on stage, one will receive acclaim. Ah, a very good dancer. But one cannot say, I shall go immediately to the stage and become a good dancer. That is not possible. One may say, no, 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 I shall not attend the rehearsal. Just give me the stage and I shall perform. But the director will not allow this, for one cannot become a good dancer without practice. The real purpose of life is to remember Krishna when one's life comes to an end. Ante Narayana Smriti. If at the time of death one can remember Krishna, one's life is successful. So what is Prabhupada saying here? That we should practice. That we should practice every day remembering Krishna. Remembering Krishna in all the most happiest and difficult moments. Of course, difficult moments is more important because at the end of life is going to be the most difficult moment for us. Because we have to give up this material body and all things associated with it. Now just imagine how will we give up at that stage if we are not still ready to give up now. So one thing we all have to understand that we don't know when this end of life will happen. It could be any time based on Krishna's will. So we can't wait for some other day. We can't wait for some day. We can't say, okay, in 1 year I'm going to become Krishna conscious, because we don't know if Krishna will give us so much time. If we are sincere, then Krishna will give time. If you are sincere, I want to perfect this life. We know devotees don't have, so time doesn't have any control over devotees. It is Krishna who is controlling. He does whatever is right for us. So if we are sincere and if we are praying, Krishna, I want to perfect my life in this very lifetime. Please give me your mercy. And if we are sincerely trying, then Krishna will give us time. But at the same time, we cannot just be complacent about it and say, okay, I'm going to just, whenever. So we should every day, every moment, we should try this. Because every moment we are actually, because we are in material consciousness, we are in some happiness, in some distress. Something is making us happy materially, something is making us sad materially. Now, in all those situations, we should try to remember Krishna, because this is practice, right? And if we practice this nicely, then at the end of life, there are chances that we can remember him. Of course, for devotees, those who have given their lives to Krishna and served him and Guru for many years, Krishna might himself give special mercy. I mean, that is his prerogative. I mean, he might decide that, okay, end of life, this maybe the devotee is not able to remember Krishna because of bodily condition, etc. But Krishna will himself give the remembrance. That Krishna does for those devotees who have surrendered their lives and who dedicated their lives to his service. So either we do that, which is the safe path, is to dedicate our lives to Krishna, or maybe we are not ready for it, we are not prepared for it due to various reasons, but we can at least try to remember him in every situation in our life, so that that's the practice. We might be unwell, we might have some misery, we might whatever it is, right? Every situation. Somebody made us angry. We are having a difficult time at work. We are having a difficult time with our health. We are having a difficult time with relations, or we are having a good time. Either way, we should remember Krishna. In this material world, one must suffer from material miseries. One must suffer. Meaning we can't escape. But rascals do not care to understand this, for they are absorbed in ignorance. A smuggler may go on with his work even though he knows that he will be arrested and punished. A thief may know that he will be arrested and punished for criminal acts, and he may even have been punished several times. Meaning in the past he's already done, caught, punished, but still he will commit the same crime again. Punah punascharvita charvananam. Why? Ignorance. He's so much absorbed in ignorance that he does not think I'm repeatedly stealing and being repeatedly arrested and sent to jail to be punished. Why am I doing this? The result is not good. See, this is our problem. We are also very much absorbed in ignorance. We are so much absorbed in ignorance that we do not realize that what we are doing is not good for us. When we are sitting in a class, we will hear, we will remember. But when we are engaged in our day to day affairs, we forget, we become so absorbed in that maya, in that illusion, in that ignorance, that we actually forget thinking about Krishna consciousness, about who am I, is this good for me, what is the goal of my life. We forget it because we are absorbed in ignorance. This is the little, we have very little strength to overcome Maya. Mhm. A person who is too much sexually inclined may suffer many times from venereal disease and have to undergo treatment, but still he will go to a prostitute again. This is Avaida Stri Sangha, illegitimate sex. But even legitimate sex involves so many difficulties. After sex, a woman becomes pregnant and has to suffer for 10 months. And at the time of delivery, there is also sometimes very great danger. And the father, after the child is born, must take care of the child, work hard to provide for its education. Therefore, the Vedic literature says, Bahu Dukkha Bhaja. After sex, legitimate or illegitimate, there are so many troubles. Tripyanti Neha Kripanaha. But one who is an ignorant rascal will not be satisfied. See, ignorant rascals we are. We are not satisfied with material happiness or so-called material happiness. We are still trying. Puna puna charvita charunanam. Puna puna charvita charunanam means we've already experienced this multiple times, multiple lifetimes. The same things that we've been trying in this life again. If we had got the happiness that we were looking for, we wouldn't do it again. So which means we have not got it. If we have not got it, why are we doing something which is detrimental to our progress? So Prabhupada, that is why he says we are ignorant rascals. We are not satisfied. Instead, he will do the same things again and again. This is called bhava roga, the disease of material existence. So we should remember this. We just are diseased. Because though we know that something is not good for us because of ignorance, just we should remember, I am an ignorant rascal. So I'm doing the same nonsense again and again. So this is a diseased condition. I need a cure. I need a doctor. And that is Guru. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is Krishna. Yanmaitunadi grhamedi sukham hitucham kandu yanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham. Bhagavatam says, in the Vedic civilization, therefore, small boys are trained to remain brahmachari, celibate, and not involve themselves in the troubles of sex. But if one is unable to remain brahmachari, he is allowed to marry. After being trained in the beginning as a brahmachari, he will not stay for many years in family life, but will very soon become vanaprastha, retired, and then accept sannyasa, the renounced order of life. Actually, this is not just, we should not think, oh, okay, this is only relevant for those who took brahmachari training. No, we are unfortunate if we didn't get brahmachari training, but at any point of life, we can wake up to this reality that we have to accept vanaprastha, retired life. Prabhupada says retired life, meaning retire from material responsibilities. And then eventually, yeah, we might accept sannyas or we might continue to do bhakti with our spouse. but it should be a pure life. So from after Grihastha, which, like I keep saying, is either 50, 55, maximum 60 in Kali Yuga, because marriages happen late. We don't get over our responsibilities that early. So, say somebody gets over, what is the responsibility? Getting children married. That's it. That's the end of our material responsibility. Say, suppose that happens at 60. Then we should start our Vanaprastha, which is retired life, which means no working, no taking care of material house responsibilities, no social life, basically. This is Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means husband and wife just go on Tirtha Yatra. Just they are just going from, one pilgrimage place to another, meeting sadhus, hearing, chanting, and once in a while come back to their home house. Now it's not a home, it's a house. It's just a place for shelter, maybe for a few days, and then again go. Which means that no specific house to stay. Just keep going here and there to, get association of sadhus. So what is the question of social life? There's no social life for vanaprasthas. I mean, there's no question of functions and this and that and all that. Yeah, when we speak about all this, I mean, this I am not saying this. This is what Shastra is saying. When we hear all this, then we say, how is it possible? How can we live like this? Yeah, I mean, it is possible if we want. We've done so many things in our life which seemed impossible to us just because we wanted to do it. We got the willpower, we got the determination to do it. So this is also one such thing. Bhakti is also one such thing. Then you might ask, then you say, bhakti, we don't have to worry too much. We'll just do bhakti. That we have been doing all our life. How much progress have we made? Being in the middle thick of material things. So we have experienced it ourselves, saying that being in the thick of material things, it's not possible to make significant progress. We have made progress. We have made inches of progress in our material, in our spiritual life. But if we want to make a real progress, we have to accept the way Shastra is saying. So really, the social life of a vanaprastha is zilch. It doesn't exist. All his social life is just association of devotees. It's not social life, but I'm just saying people. Who are the people around him? Just devotees. Wherever he goes, he is just in the association of devotees, hearing, chanting, thinking about Krishna, serving Krishna. If one lives the life like this, Prabhupada said, consistently for 15 to 18 years, he will go back to Godhead. So now we can decide whether we want to do this. Of course, those who are in Grasta and still have responsibilities, yeah, there is some time. Don't think too much time. Some time. Make sure that you plan to get over your responsibilities at the earliest. But others should absolutely just give up everything else and just focus on sadhana bhakti. Social life, puna puna charvata sarvananam. We have done this for zillions of lifetimes as human beings, as animals. We want to waste one more life, and we want to remain incomplete in our sadhana and then again come back into this miserable material world. It's our choice, and it's each person's, what he or she thinks, right? I don't want to come back to this material world. I've experienced enough miseries in this life to make me be very sure that I don't want by any chance to come back. But others might have had a good life, right? Happy life, good family. Difficult, but yeah, chances are there. And some people, even though they don't have any of that, they're still ignorant to think that, oh, this life is nice. Once in a while we get to go out and we go here and there, and family, we do shopping, and children are so happy, all insignificant things. So we have to hear from Shastra and says this is just illusion. Because whoever we are so attached to are not going to be there for too long. Either we are not going to be there for too long or they are not going to be there for too long. Either way, we are going to separate. So whom are we sacrificing perfection for? So we are sacrificing our perfection for some temporary people who are around us, whom we didn't know last life, maybe we will not know in our next life. For those temporary people, society, family, etc., we are sacrificing perfection. We are sacrificing going and getting the opportunity to associate with Radha and Krishna. Who can be more stupid than this? We shouldn't be, like Prabhupada said, ignorant rascals. We shouldn't be ignorant rascals. See, like this simple statement, right? So, for example, this kind of statement we might have read a zillion times in Prabhupada's books. But if we don't go into the depth of every statement that Prabhupada makes, then we are just like story reading. We're reading some novel. Novel means, yeah, even if you skip 10 pages, nothing is going to change. It's the same, you can write the story yourself. But that's not the thing with Prabhupada's books. Each and every line is life changing. So please hear these, remember these statements that Prabhupada is making. In this material world, everyone is suffering. The birds, beasts, trees, animals, plants, even Brahma and Indra. Indra is also not safe. He's always in anxiety about competitors who may come. Tat sadhu manye asuravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhyam asatgrahat. Why is everyone in this material world always in anxiety? Avidya kama karma bihi. Because they are rascals. Therefore, Krishna stresses, you rascal, give up all your nonsense and surrender unto me. So, do we want a more straightforward statement than this from Prabhupada? Huh? So clearly is saying, you rascal. First of all, when we hear this statement, we will turn this side, that side to see if there is any rascal behind us or beside us. And because we don't think that we are rascals. That Prabhupada is saying that to us, you rascal. Just read this. Just think that Prabhupada is right in front of you and telling this statement. You rascal, give up all your nonsense and surrender unto me. This is what Krishna is saying. What is the difficulty in doing this? This is Krishna's very good mercy. His mercy is calling us. This is another thing actually. Devotees don't like when they're chastised. They'll try to defend themselves, their actions. But we should understand chastisement means mercy. Means a Vaishnava is even bothering to look at us. If a Vaishnava is even bothering to look at us and tell us anything, which maybe for us apparently might look wrong because of our contamination. But a Vaishnava will never say anything which is wrong, which is bad, which is not good. So just that a Vaishnava is looking at us and telling something, right? And chastisement is the best thing for us because we don't deserve any kind of appreciation because that will also get into our heads. So if somebody is chastising us, we should be so happy. Oh, I'm getting direction. I'm getting guidance. This is mercy of Krishna. He is the Supreme Father. Therefore, he directly says, Sarva Guhyatamam. Sarva Guhyatamam. It's the most confidential knowledge. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Shanam Raja. You rascal, give up everything and simply surrender unto me. Therefore, Kunti says, you have come to teach rascals like this and engage them in hearing, remembering, and worship. This is bhakti. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. One should hear and chant about Vishnu, Krishna. But as soon as devotees begin to hear and chant about Vishnu, some rascals, Swami will say, no hearing or chanting any name will do. No, comma. Hearing or chanting any name will do. Why Vishnu? Why not Kali? In Bengal, there's a group of people who have invented Kali Kirtana, chanting the name of the demigoddess Kali. What is this nonsense? In the Vedic literature, there is no such thing as Kali Kirtana. Kirtana means Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, Krishna. The Vedic literature recommends Harer Nama, chanting of the holy name of Hari Krishna, and no one else. See, no one else. Today we are so ignorant fools that people say Sai Baba is God. How ignorant can one be? Right? They worship him like God. There are songs which are describing him as God, and they chant his glories. They name their children after him. What ignorance! Right? Clearly, Prabhupada is saying chanting of the name of Hari Krishna and no one else. This Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and chanting was described very nicely by Shukadev Goswami in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, Yat Kirtanam, Yat Smaranam, Yat Ikshanam, Yat Vandanam, Yat Shravanam, Yat Arhanam, Lokasya Sadyo Vidunoti Kalmasham, Tasmai Subhadra Shravase Namo Namaha. Before speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami offered his obeisances to Krishna with this verse. He said, I offer my obeisances unto him, for simply hearing of him is Subhadra, auspicious. The entire Bhagavatam is glorification of Krishna, and this is glorification by Shukadev Goswami. He says that one can be perfectly purified if one either glorifies Krishna, meditates upon him, or simply sits before the deity of Krishna and sees him, thinking, how nicely dressed is Krishna, how nicely dressed is Radharani. See, I'm repeating this. He says that one can be perfectly purified if one either glorifies Krishna, so those who are doing Kirtanam, right, preaching, doing actually Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Kirtan, bhajans, or one meditates upon him. Where do people have time to meditate upon Krishna? We have so much time to meditate upon material things. We don't have time to meditate upon Krishna. So it's difficult. So for such people, chanting Hare Krishna is the equivalent. Right? Or simply sits before the deity of Krishna and sees him, thinking, oh, nicely dressed is Krishna, how nicely dressed is Radharani. Like I keep saying, I mean, I'm Radha Madhav are my Ishta Devata. Right? So when we see them, it's very easy to get this feeling how nicely dressed they are. And how nicely dressed Radharani is. How nicely dressed are all the Ashtasakhis. If one has no ability to chant, or if one's mind is so disturbed that one cannot fix it upon Krishna, one is given this chance. Here is the deity, simply see him. See, if he can't sit in one place, meditate on Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, Prabhupada is saying, for them, one is given this chance. Here is the deity, simply see him. Yeah, again, every devotee has their own favorite Ishta Devata. So that form could be anything. It could be Krishna, Radha, it could be Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it could be Narsimhadev, it could be Rama, etc. But the process is the same. Here is the deity, simply see him. If one is engaged in the service of the deity, there's a good chance of always seeing him 24 hours a day. So fortunate are pujaris. But unfortunately, they don't think about it that way, right? Many devotees in ISKCON do pujari seva because it's easy, right? Second, they do it for getting paid, but this is not the idea. The idea is that Krishna will anyway give. Krishna will give. Why are we taking money for serving him? And those who are pujaris, they have a good chance of always seeing him 24 hours a day. How much love they can develop. Just imagine. How much love they can develop. While cleansing the floor of the temple, while dressing the deity, while bathing the deity, or while offering him food, one will always see him. See him, see him. Because we are used to seeing, we are not used to hearing. So for actually it's a neophyte stage, but it's still good. It's not that, when one is advanced that they will not see the deity, but in the advanced stage, they will actually hear more and also see the deity. But in the preliminary stage, neophyte stage, they don't want to hear, they want to only see. So deity worship is for everybody. And at a very advanced stage, actually, devotees see Radha and Krishna directly in their samadhi, in their remembrance. Right? So anyway, that's a very advanced stage. This is the process of devotional service, but people are such fallen rascals that do not even go to see the deity. Oh, they think, what is this deity worship? It is idol worship. They may worship a statue of Gandhi or someone else, but when asked to come see the worship of the deity, they'll say, no, this is idol worship. I have seen that in Calcutta, in Chaurangi Square, there is a statue of Sri Ashutosh Mukherjee. Throughout the year, the crows pass stool on his face and the stool becomes caked on. So on one day a year, the ordinary sweepers cleanse the statue with their brush, meaning whatever they use to clean everything else. And in the evening, some big men come and garland him with flowers. Then after that evening, they go away, and again the next morning, the crows come to pass stool on his face. So this kind of worship is accepted, sweeping the face of Sri Ashutosh Mukherjee with the municipal brush. But if we install the deity of Krishna and worship him nicely, people will say that this is idol worship. So people are embarrassed by being entangled in avidya, ignorance, and the method by which to educate them and rescue them from the clutches of this ignorance is devotional service. As explained by Shukadev Goswami, one may chant the name of Krishna or meditate upon Krishna. Or if one cannot meditate, one simply can sit down and see Krishna. Even a child can see, here is Krishna, here is Radharani. Even a small child or even an animal can do this and benefit. Prabhupada is saying animal also. Or if one is more intelligent, one may offer prayers. And if one is expert and has been trained by a spiritual master, one may perform appropriate worship. Christians and Muslims are also Vaishnavas, devotees, because they offer prayers to the Lord. See, Prabhupada. Uttamadhikari. They offer prayers to the Lord. Oh God, they say, give us our daily bread. Those who offer this prayer may not know very much and may be at a lower state, but this is a beginning because they have approached God. So this is very nice. See, actually, we are not against Christians, Muslims. We are not a Hindu cult, Prabhupada said, right? So we should accept everybody. Yeah, it's a lower stage, but it's still a beginning because they've approached God. Better than those atheists. And we are happy dealing with those atheists, who are mainly these scientists, right? Philosophers, big names in the industry today are all atheists, and we are happy to worship them. But then others who are actually approaching God, maybe if at a lower stage, we will ill-treat them. Going to a church or mosque is also auspicious. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritano arjuna. See, beautiful. Prabhupada saying, so these people who are Christians and Muslims are actually, they're in that stage of mixed devotion where they're coming to the Supreme Lord for something. Artho arthati jignasu gnani. Therefore, those who begin in this way will one day become pure Vaishnavas. See, it will happen. It will happen. But the atheistic propaganda that one should not go to a church, temple, or mosque is very dangerous. So we have to be very careful from atheists. We should be away from them. Peace, we can encourage them to do whatever they are doing, right? Like Prabhupada said, you chant your name of your God. You chant the name of Jesus, you chant the name of Allah, no problem. Continue to do that. And he's saying one day they will become pure Vaishnavas, meaning after it might take multiple lifetimes, but they will come. Unless they are, what is the word? Unless they are willingly going against, Vaishnavism and making offenses like that, right? Otherwise, if they're simple people just following their own religion, they will make progress. Because they're doing whatever they're doing, not out of their own whim. They're just saying, okay, my religion is telling me this. And following that, they will make progress. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. Otherwise, we might think, okay, they're eating meat, so how can they become pure Vaishnavas? But Prabhupada is saying this. That means that there is a path for them also. We should understand. See, sometimes these statements, we should not just try to argue on basis of our logic. This whole, knowledge is so deep. There will be some, Prabhupada knows the truth, right? So he's just saying they will become. So we'll just accept saying that, yes, okay, they will become pure Vaishnavas one day. One may not be very advanced, but one should try at least to do something to understand God. A child is sent to school, and although he may simply learn ABCD, if he is interested, he may one day become a very good scholar. So this is the important part, being interested. Similarly, one day a pious man may become a pure devotee. See, he may become a pure devotee, but he should be pious. And piety means following your dharma wherever you are born. Why should one give up religion altogether, become completely secular, and simply open a factory in which to manufacture nuts and bolts and work very hard and drink and eat meat? What kind of civilization is this? It is because of this so-called civilization that people are suffering. So we are suffering because of this, but we don't see this. We go behind all these religions and try to fight them. But actually, our problem is this so-called civilization of factories, industries, progress. It is by ignorance that people think that by opening factories, they'll be happy. Why should they open factories? There's no need. There is so much land, and one can produce one's own food grains and eat sumptuously without any factory. Milk is also available without a factory. Factory cannot produce milk or grains. The present scarcity of food in the world is largely due to such factories. When everyone is working in the city to produce nuts and bolts, who will produce food grains? Simple living and high thinking is the solution to economic problems. Now, today, if we talk about simple living and high thinking, people are saying, how old-fashioned is this? We are modern, we are advanced in Kali Yuga. Don't take us to yesteryears. Don't take us to Stone Age. But this is simple living, high thinking. Prabhupada is very clearly saying simple living, high thinking is the solution to economic problems. But we don't want to accept it because we have got used to uh, very, what is the word? Aristocratic living and less thinking. This is our life, Kali Yuga. Right? Comfortable living, less thinking. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is engaging devotees in producing their own food, see, and living self-sufficiently, so that rascals may see how one can live very peacefully, eat the food grains one has grown oneself, drink milk, and chant Hare Krishna. But ISKCON is not supporting this. ISKCON doesn't want to support this, saying this is not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Why Prabhupada is saying this? Why Prabhupada started those farms? Reason Prabhupada is giving so that rascals may see. So this is also another way of preaching how we can live very peacefully because people are behind livelihood. So if you give them a way that they can live happily, they get their life's necessities, they will automatically become Krishna conscious if that community is Krishna conscious. And Prabhupada said this is 50% of his work. We better understand this and think about simple living, high thinking. The process of Krishna consciousness should be very vigorously propagated all over the world. Simply by seeing the deity or simply by joining in chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, people will derive tremendous benefit. See, that's why I'm very happy that, unlike other temples, our temple, we are so happy to just encourage anybody and everybody to come chant, have prasadam. We are not behind people saying that take coupon, this, that, and all that. We are happy however, whoever comes, even if they just come directly for prasadam, we are happy because everything is mercy. Everything is mercy. They'll come, they'll at least see the deity, right? And some Hare Krishna mantra, somewhere some chanting should happen. They will at least be part of it. They will have prasadam. If one performs kirtana chanting, one will be able to think of Krishna. One may think I danced for 2 hours and chanted Hare Krishna. What is the meaning of this? This is smarana. See, Prabhupada is saying, what is the meaning of this? This is smarana, thinking of Krishna. One may even think I foolishly chanted Krishna, Krishna for 2 hours. But that is also smarana. Because the Krishna conscious movement is spreading, people are purchasing our books about Krishna. Because they're curious. They say, what is this Krishna? Let us see the book. Then they immediately see a picture of Radha and Krishna, and if they open the book, they will see more. In the book, there are many prayers glorifying Krishna. So some will hear about Krishna, others will read, and if they're fortunate enough, they'll become Krishna conscious and engage in the worship of the deity. So we should do book distribution, we should do Harinam, we should distribute prasadam. Prasadam not like this, like for life type, right? There should be kirtanam. When we do food for life, there should be kirtanam and then food is given. These methods of devotional service, hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, and so on, are so perfect that as soon as one takes to them, either all of them, some of them, or even one of them, one becomes purified. So if we are not getting purified by this, then we are not following the process properly. If we are not getting purified by repeated hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, then we are doing something wrong. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami says, I offer my worship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For simply by remembering him, simply by glorifying him, or simply by seeing him, so many benefits follow. Shukadeva Goswami is one of 12 important spiritual authorities, Mahajana. And these are the authorities we must follow. Follow Mahajano Yenagatasya Pantaha. He affirms that by performing these methods of devotional service, one will be cleansed of material contamination. When Sadhyaha, see, immediately without waiting, this is the great benefit of Krishna consciousness movement. Now, many people tell, saying that, oh, it takes so much time. How is it possible in one lifetime? Prabhupada is saying Sadhyaha, immediately, without waiting. I've told this multiple times. If we do anything in Krishna consciousness and have our own assumptions, oh, okay, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I will take multiple lifetimes to go back to Krishna. Krishna will say Tathastu. If I say I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I will go back to lifetime. I'll go back to Krishna this life. Krishna will say Tathastu, because that is we are expressing our desire. If we say I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm going to go back to Krishna even before the end of this lifetime, Krishna will say Tathastu. So we can decide what we desire. Anything is possible for Krishna. There's nothing impossible. Laulyam ekam maulyam. We should only have greed, intense greed. And that greed doesn't have any logic, isn't it? Does greed have logic? When one is greedy materially, does he think, oh, should I get this? Should I not get this? Am I qualified? No, he just says, I want it. That's all. I intensely want it. So no logic, no need for any logic in Krishna consciousness in terms of what we desire. Want to go back to Krishna, we want this, we want to serve him like this. You just desire and Krishna will give mercy, will manifest the mercy. But devotees don't have confidence. I mean, I've heard that preachers also, they say, no, we can only, how can we do, how can 100 people come to our program? No, we can do only 20 people. Krishna will say, Tathastu. If somebody says, no, I want 500 people, Krishna will say, Tathastu. The example is our temple. We were so small and then we couldn't fit people. And because we desire to serve more and more, get more and more devotees, more and more preaching. And now we have a big temple that's also getting full. So no waiting business. Just sincerely, desire to serve Guru and Krishna. It will manifest. Everything will manifest. So, and if we desire that way, Krishna will give mercy. So we don't have to worry about it. Okay, I'll stop here. We already extended 8 minutes because I wanted to finish this verse. So any questions, anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
This is
Dhanavad. Yeah.
Yeah. So regarding that statement, right, that farm communities and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, again, the modern education is like driving everyone to the metropolitans or
Yeah.
even out of the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, is it all practical to have something within the you know uh, close vicinities of metropolitans to have this kind of living? Because right now whatever the farm communities, they're like way beyond the reach, and it's difficult to people even to see experience that kind of living, right? So I mean, I don't know, I mean, if that thought ever
Yeah, I
came,
think,
like what.
yeah. So His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has spoken at length about these things. So, see, basically, we should understand the reason why these communities are a bit remote is for the simple reason that they are trying to avoid the material contamination getting in. Because there
Mhm,
were certain plants which we have, which were available, which were close vicinity to cities, right? And then it was very clear saying that very easily this contamination will creep in
mhm.
today or tomorrow,
Correct.
right? And the idea actually, see, we can be creative about all this. Like, see, for example, today many people go on weekend getaways, right? They want to go
Right,
far
right.
away, right? They want to go 50, 100, 200 kilometers from where they want to drive. They want to go away, right? Actually,
Mhm.
people want to go away. People don't want to
Exactly,
come,
yeah, I mean,
right?
that's pretty much
And
everyone is in a mood, yeah, correct.
yeah, and we give them that opportunity. We give them an opportunity to come and experience a simple living, high thinking life, right? Like, getaway, right? So you come here and experience a new life, right?
Right, but
So
right now I see, Prabhu, is like everything is too far,
no,
so
that's fine. That's fine.
mm,
It'll take
mm, mm,
time, right? I mean, it has
time
to,
to
for
come.
example, there has to be efforts. Now,
Mm,
it's only few people who are even convinced that this is the way going forward, right? So why would anybody
right.
want to plunge into this? So more and more people have to hear, more people have to read Prabhupada's books, get convinced, saying that okay, this is the way to go. And as more devotees, as more preaching into, see, today's preaching is not going to get us here, right? Because today's
Mm,
preaching is, I mean, there's nothing really. We aren't driving anything through our preaching at all. It's just, yeah,
mm,
just chant Hare Krishna, be happy, right? But there isn't
right.
any specific message we are driving. So if at least some groups of devotees start driving a specific message, then there will be outcome, right?
Mm,
There are so many devotees who are dedicating their lives to do this, right? But it's not enough. It's not enough. We need more and more people to engage in this. So yeah, eventually this is the idea, right? That near every big city there should be one nice project, right? Where people initially will just come as saying, okay, maybe once in a month I want to go to this place. I had a very good experience last time, and they
right,
keep
right.
coming, and then they realize
Yes.
saying, oh, this is good. Why can't I just live here, right? And yeah, it will take time, but Prabhupada said this is 50% of his preaching work. So
Mm,
lot more dedication, lot more dedicated people have to come who are convinced about this thought process, and Yeah, I mean, and so much of money is required, land, who has all this, right? So yeah, all kind, if there is support for this, then obviously it can manifest. But it is happening, but slowly and steadily.
Right. I mean, the idea of this farmlands, right,
Yeah.
is increasing. It's becoming popular these days everywhere. All the metropolitans that I could
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
the idea
Because
of this
people,
farmlands, everyone want to just get out of this mess and go live
yeah,
off the
post
farms. I mean,
corona,
they cannot get rid of
corona
the
is,
responsibilities, but they still have to. Yeah, they still want to experience that, and yeah, I mean, yeah, come back. They have to do their
yeah,
duties for the
but
living.
Vinod Prabhu,
Yeah.
we should also understand as Kaliuga progresses, frustration will only mount. It's not
That
going to
is right. Yes,
reduce,
that
right?
is for sure. Yes.
And we've seen post corona. I mean, people, software people. I'm so happy I got out of industry by then. But I know of so many of my friends who
Yeah.
are just. I mean, the pressure is mounted. I mean, you're sitting at home, no work from home, and it's 24 hours work, 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 right? And people are
Mhm.
frustrated, and it's not going to decrease. It's not going to decrease, right? It's only going to
Right,
increase.
right.
Time will come. Time will come. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that time will come when people really want to get away, and by then, hopefully, some of us as devotees have, been bold enough to tread this path and help, create
Right, right.
opportunity for others. So we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
what do you
bro.
think?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, are we ready is the question, right? And everyone
yeah.
is frustrated. Are
Each of
we
us.
ready is the question.
Yeah, each of us have to ask this question. Am I ready? Yes. Okay.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Please don't forget this immediately business. Sadhyaha. We can achieve perfection in as early as we want, as we wish. We don't have to wait for lifetimes. Okay. So we have to just make up our mind. That's all. Okay. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasinubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Antakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Praveen.